Hi, this is Psych Readings by Andre, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do a prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Today we're talking about war in 2020. Now, there's a lot of little wars going on in Africa, and of course, the Americans having their fun in the Middle East at the expense of a lot of innocent people. I think this is going to be curtailed in the next year or so by China coming in. China is the elephant in the room that not many people are talking about, but it's something that a lot of the little countries are terrified of crossing. So, because of the Silk Road Initiative by the Chinese, it's going to be completed in 2025, hopefully. Hopefully everything goes well. It's going to be curtailing a lot of the Middle Eastern countries that it's going to get involved in. I know it just signed a deal with Iraq about a month or so ago, and if they're going to be doing business with Iraq, it probably means the Americans are going to be moving out a little bit more. And like I said in one of my last videos, where you're going to see the Americans pull out troops more and more in the next little while. They're already doing a little tiny bit just to get away from the Russians, especially in the northern part of Syria, where they left and left that border open for Turkey. And now the Turks and Russians are working together. That's a good thing. Working together is always a good thing. Patrolling that one part of Syria. So you're going to see a lot of that happening in the next little while, where the U.S. Pulling out of more and more countries, and there's going to be a little bit more of switching troops around to different areas. And I think they're going to be getting pushed out by the Chinese and Russia. So they're going to narrowly leave different countries as soon as China and Russia fill in the spaces that were left by the United States. You're going to see that more and more. And the more the American economy starts to tumble, and it will in about another year or so, they're not going to be able to afford war as much as they had in the past. And the more, like I said in the past video, where most of the countries of the world are going to be getting away from the American SWIFT system, that means that the United States won't have that monopoly on using their petrodollar to make themselves rich. That's one of the big reasons that the United States is so rich, is they have that SWIFT system, okay, where everybody has to use American dollars to buy from country to country. The more and more countries get away from that, the less money the Americans are going to have, okay? They won't have that monopoly anymore. I know China's building something and Russia's building something. The BRICS countries are working on a system to get rid of the American involvement, because the Americans are using that as leverage over different countries that are doing naughty things that the Americans don't like. Of course, the wars going on in Africa will probably be curtailing in the next year or two. Not as much, because they always got skirmishes there and all that wonderful stuff. But it's going to be curtailed by Chinese involvement, because they're putting a lot of money into Africa, and they don't want their new minions, well, I don't think they mind it too much, But I think if they're going to be pouring a lot of money and resources into a country, I think they probably want less bloodshed, or don't touch the things that they've been building up with their heart or their resources and money that they've been pouring into the country. So that's going to be a little less than before. I don't see any new wars going to be happening, new fields of battle. There's going to be a few little skirmishes with Russia or backed factions of Russia and the United States. There's going to be a few of those going on, but nothing too major in the next year, starting in the next year. I think this is going to be the turning point of the big players just going home and healing their own societies. Okay, that I believe that's going to be in the next year or two. The turning point where everybody's going to have to reassess their place in the world and how they're going to deal with situations. I'll leave it at that. Okay, I'd like to thank everyone that's been donating down below. Remember to get your 15 to 35% off Amazon purchases, also down below. Check out my new Patreon, also down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.